I think it's loading this time. Come on. Come on. God.
Like a fine wine aged to perfection until the bottle shatters against the rocks of history. Two ancient warriors of radio broadcasting take to the airwaves of Madison for anyone brave enough to listen to the unvarnished truth, or something like that. It's John and Gordy in the morning on 92.7 WMDX.
WMDX 92.7, John and Gordy in the morning, and we are broadcasting live from Substack. No, Short Stack.
Substack, Short Stack.
Yeah, it's all the same, right? They serve pancakes at Substack, too. It takes a little longer to get them, though.
Short Stack Eatery.
Yes.
At the corner of Johnson and State and Henry.
It's so good to be back here again. I love this place.
I know. We were here for a number of months, every Wednesday morning, and then we weren't. And now we're back. But we're back for a reason, because they're closing very soon.
Yes,
Closing down Short Stack Eatery.
They are. It's not easy running a restaurant, and that's the whole point.
Yeah.
You know, it's like working 24 hours a day. I mean, you never know. You have to go into work and fill in for somebody if you're the owner or manager.
Yeah, so we thought we'd come here one more time before they shut the doors and move on. And they've always been very nice to us here when we drop by before on Wednesdays. So looking forward to having Mike McCabe drop in a little bit later on, as he does every Wednesday. And then our Boy Wonder Zenon, who we discovered here at Short Stack, along with his dad, he'll be stopping in as well. So that'll be interesting.
That'll be a lot of fun.
We haven't seen him in a long time.
He's got a story. Rachel Maddow had a little rundown of all the things that Trump is doing that we didn't vote for, and we'll be getting into that a little after 7 o'clock.
Great, yeah. And weather today, well, it's looking kind of cloudy, and we even have some fog.
Wow, yes, coming into Madison. London fog.
Really?
I didn't think I'd be able to see in front of me, but, once you get in it, it's okay.
It's pretty thick, but you know what causes that is the dew point, John.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So we'll talk to Brittany Merlot all about that.
It's my enemy.
Yes. Yeah, you shiver every time I mention the word dew point. You just start shaking uncontrollably.
I can't handle the dew point.
But it's 58 degrees currently. What does your Samsung WMDX watch say
I
early
remember
morning
the
temperature?
Official
You forgot
WMDX Samsung watch. I know, isn't it awful? I felt like I left an arm at home. It's 59 currently.
Right.
The predicted high will be about 83 degrees.
Okay.
83.
Sam, are you with us here? Do you want to roll the weather roulette wheel?
Yeah, why don't you try that?
Of course you do. Okay. There it goes. Round and round we go. Afternoon high will be for today.
Yes.
It says 81. So, all right. Well, you said 83?
83.
Okay. Well,
we're pretty close this
low
time.
80s. Well, that's what we'll say. This portion of John and Gordy in the morning is brought to you by Verlo Mattress of Madison. One thing that remains constant since they opened their doors back in 1958. They are still direct-to-consumer, providing superior products at unbeatable prices.
Yeah.
2 locations in Madison, East Side and West Side. Go to verlo.com for more information. That's verlo.com.
All right.
All right.
I can do that.
Well, what should we do? Should we get to the National Day calendar? Do you feel like?
Well, yeah, I
yet?
think that's my high point of the morning usually.
At least for this first 15 minutes. It's the high point.
It is.
All right. Well,
It
let's
is.
get to the
Let's
National
hear what you
Day
have
calendar. Hang on a
today.
second.
I think it's similar to what we had last year, right?
Yeah, about
Around
a year
this
ago.
time?
Yeah. Is it or is it not one of these days? Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Is it National Buttermilk Biscuit Day? Is it National Table Tennis Day? National Underground America Day? National Dance Like a Chicken Day? National Receptionists Day? What day does not belong?
I am so fearful that it's Dance Like a Chicken Day that I'm not going to talk about that one. It's not Buttermilk Pancake Day today.
Well, Buttermilk Biscuit Day?
Biscuit Day, yeah.
You don't think it's that
No,
day?
I don't think it's
Well,
that
you're
day.
wrong. It is
What?
that
Really?
day. It's National Buttermilk Biscuit Day. It would have been great if it would be Buttermilk Pancake Day.
Yeah, because we're here at Short
Short
Stack.
Stack. Yeah. Sam, do you care to take a guess of what day
just
it
because
is
John
not?
John is just so afraid of what the implications of this day are, I'm going to have to say it's not Dance Like a Chicken Day.
Well, you're wrong, too. It is National Dance Like a Chicken
That's the
Day.
saddest day ever.
All right.
I
It's
don't
not
wanna do
National
this.
Table Tennis Day.
Oh,
Okay. Snuck that one in by both of you guys. So
table,
I get to keep
table
the dime.
tennis is ping pong, isn't it?
It is. Yes, it is.
All right.
Getting an early morning crowd here at
this is
Short
huge.
Stack.
Have you gotten a
Yeah.
ping pong table in your basement yet, Gordy?
No, I have not. Yeah, I still intend to get one. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that or not.
They might have it on the marketplace
Well, I could see.
on Facebook.
Yeah, you can see
Yes.
if there's been one thrown out on the road for Hippie Christmas.
Hippie Christmas, yeah, because
Just
I'm
drive
sure,
around.
I'm sure it'd be in great shape if it's laying out by the road. Usually those get beat up by the college kids.
Or spray painted with "Listen to John and Gordy in the morning."
Yes, right. Okay, let's get to National Buttermilk Biscuit Day.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, who doesn't love a buttermilk biscuit? The high-rising breakfast staple. Whether you're enjoying them with biscuits and gravy or butter and honey, National Buttermilk Biscuit Day is a day to enjoy a food holiday easily incorporated into all of your meals. You could have it with anything. Goes with anything. Buttermilk biscuit.
Well, I threw something in here. I just don't remember the flour, but they use a special flour for the buttermilk biscuits in the South.
Is that so?
Yeah. Yeah. So if anybody knows, just text us.
Yes, you can text us on the
and,
Civic Media
and
app.
Sam will let us know because we don't have access to the text, right? I don't believe.
I don't think we do. No, we don't. At least I
I'll
don't.
read them out for you. Don't worry.
Okay.
Well, I'm concerned.
You could also call us, right? 608-879-8255. But use the Civic Media app. That's the easy way to do it. You can download it absolutely free, and you can text us or call us from there. Okay. On to National Underground America Day. Did I mention that?
No.
Oh.
Underground America?
Yeah, this recognizes the approximately 6,000 people who live in some form of underground architecture across North America. Remember they used to have all those houses out by Cross Plains?
Yeah, earth homes.
Yeah, earth homes.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to those because I drive by there every once in a while and they're not there anymore.
You know what? It's there. I think they had a lot of shrubbery around the house and made it look like they were really, they were really underground, but all of that is gone, but they're still underground. It's like one side of your house is underground. It's built into a hillside.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of cool.
Just ask John.
Just ask John. It's National Dance Like a Chicken Day. John
No,
Peterson's
this is not going to be. This is
favorite
not
day.
going to happen today.
Well, today, May 14th, encourages everybody to dance like a chicken.
Why is that?
The day entertains from start to finish with people flapping their arms and strutting chicken-like.
Yes.
Everyone has probably danced the chicken dance, John. You've danced the chicken
No,
dance every time you go to a
I
wedding.
haven't. Yeah, no, I stay away from that.
What?
Yeah.
I heard you were the instigator of the chicken dance at the last, and every wedding you've ever been
from
to.
our big party that we had.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at baked wings across the street. Is that a new restaurant going in on the corner? I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is. I don't know what used to be there.
Didn't have signs up before that I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Shiny object, squirrel. Let's get back to Dance Like a Chicken Day.
I don't have much of an attention span.
I know.
That's why we have so many different stories on this program.
That's right. The chicken dance was written by Werner Thomas, a Swiss accordionist. The chicken dance didn't even make it to the United States till sometime in the 70s.
Yeah.
It's associated with polkas or oompa music. Originally written with the name Der Enterschnatz or Enterstanz or something like the duck dance.
You know what I think this
Somehow
is?
it went from the duck dance to the chicken dance.
This is a form of bird flu. And
Okay. Well, then let's move on.
yeah. Okay.
One more day here. I think we had National Receptionist Day, so we salute all the receptionists
Yes, all
out
the
there.
receptionists out there.
Megan, our
Well, they do all the
receptionist.
work.
They do.
Yeah.
They handle everything. Sam, have you got the history book ready to go there?
Oh, I do. Do I have to open it, or can I dial up the digital version?
Just
since you
dial
guys
it up.
It's your choice
Yeah.
Oh,
today.
that's a
Let's
good
overload
idea.
the internet
Since
today.
you're back in control there.
I hope the internet can handle all of this information.
Okay. What happened on this date in history?
Well,
I love that sound.
Way back.
Yeah.
Way back. Today in 1607, Jamestown was founded. Jamestown was
yeah.
the very first permanent settlement in to become the U.S. colonies in the United States. It was the very first colonial settlement.
Okay. Yes, it was. Okay. That's
stuff.
great.
1796. I hesitate to really say that this is official because, like, by modern standards, like this is back alley medicine. Today in 1796, a guy by the name of Edward Jenner developed the very first smallpox vaccine.
Yeah.
Wasn't much of a vaccine though. He took pus from blisters of people who had cowpox and gave it to people who had not yet had smallpox in an effort to make sure that they wouldn't get the disease.
my
You call
God.
that a vaccine?
But did it work?
But did it work? Yes, it did work.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's he's considered today the founder of vaccination, basically.
Yeah, so using
1796.
the virus was one way of
That's right. Yes.
fighting the disease. Yeah.
Okay.
Today in
What else?
1804, Lewis and Clark departed on the Corps of Discovery, their big journey out to the West Coast to map the soon-to-be continental United States.
Yes, the Lewis and Clark Expedition Group had a hit
Yeah.
song way back in the 60s. No, they did. No, they actually did. Lewis and Clark Expedition.
We can look that up. Really?
Yeah, I'll pull that up for you.
Look that up.
And they
Today
had
in 19
what? Sam, here's a question for you. What Indian woman, what American Indian woman, did they meet up with that helped to guide them? Do you know that?
Sacagawea, or
You got it.
Sacagawea, sometimes people call it. Yes.
Very good. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Good for you. Okay. Next.
Wow, that was a short bell.
You want to hear it again?
Are you guys fans of Seinfeld?
Oh, yeah,
Sure,
of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Today in 1998, the very last episode of Seinfeld aired.
Oh,
I haven't
yes.
seen it. From what I've heard, it didn't have that great of an ending, did it?
No, it was really disappointing. Actually.
Right. And then they tried a different ending on Curb Your Enthusiasm
Right.
with Larry David, and that I think that may have almost been the last episode, but didn't they come up with a special? That was the actual last episode.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I liked Larry David's, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I still like it. It's great.
But he had the whole show, everybody on the cast
Everybody
together,
on
and they were going
Seinfeld.
to do that.
Yeah.
And, it took an entire season to do the last episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a
Yeah,
phenomenon.
it was a great
Took
show,
a lot
but-
to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Got a few birthdays today as well. It's George Lucas's birthday, David Byrne, Robert Zemeckis, and Mark Zuckerberg, the Zuck. They're all celebrating
Oh.
birthdays today.
All
Don't
right.
bring his name up.
We are live at Short Stack Eatery, downtown Madison, as they get ready to close their doors. We'll talk to Mike McCabe in our next hour. Back with more of John and Gordy in a moment.
Okay.
Hearing aid
The
center.
Lewis
How-
and
how we
Clark
doing?
the Lewis and Clark Expedition song is "I Feel Good." I believe.
Is your
Who's it
internet
by?
working yet? Internet?
John, who's it by?
Lewis and Clark Expedition.
It's just, what do you mean?
That's the
who
name
it's
of the band.
By.
Lewis and
Oh.
Clark Expedition.
Okay.
I'm going to ask her when the actual last day is. Do you know when the actual last
That would
They
be
don't
great
know,
to know.
as far as I know.
Oh, they don't know? When did you ask them? Recently?
No, not recently.
Okay, I'm going to go ask.
John, I don't know if I'm finding this song.
Really?
Well, is it called the Lewis and Clark Expedition by the Lewis and Clark Expedition?
Well, they may have had a song like that. I don't know,
She
but
has a
it's
few things
but
she's
the
gonna
group
write down.
and I feel good. I feel fine. Something like that. It may be hard to find on YouTube, but I would assume.
There's an E on Clark.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Yeah. Is that it? Do you have it?
Yeah.
You could start it off right at the singing part. I think there's a little
Yeah.
intro to it. Let's see. I
you
can't get
got-
on StreamYard at all.
Have you got your rundown? You don't have anything yet?
I have the show plan. The
Okay.
outline. Yep, I
Yes.
got that. Yep. I got everything. I just can't get on StreamYard at all.
Really?
Yeah, a box came up saying it's being blocked. Can we have
That's-
permission?
Yeah, that happened to me. Go up to the browser line or the address line and just click on there and restart it or something. And it wasn't going to allow my camera for some reason. I don't know
20
why.
seconds.
Yeah, maybe I don't want to mess with it.
10 seconds.
All right. Do a weather hit and a hearing aid. What is this? What is it?
It's the Lewis and Clark Expedition. I feel good today. Yeah, yeah. See, I remember all these old songs way back when.
Boy, I've never heard that song.
Yeah, well, there's a reason for it. It's not a great song.
wasn't a big hit, I
No,
guess.
WMDX 92.7. John and Gordy in the morning.
It's 23 minutes past the hour. It's foggy around Madison this morning. We'll see some sunshine in the mix and highs in the low 80s today. Right now, 58 degrees. And we're at Short Stack Eatery, corner of State Street and Johnson, just about a block away from our studios here. So used to come here every Wednesday, and we're coming back because they're going to be closing their doors shortly. And we're going to find out more about that coming up. So, all right.
They're doing that just to spite us, you know. It's,
You think so? This portion of John and Gordy in the morning brought to you by our friends at Madison Hearing Aid Center. They're at 4706 Cottage Grove Road in Madison. They offer fast and flexible appointments. Jim and Sarah will take care of you there. They help people and they change their lives. Their number one goal isn't just selling hearing aids, it's improving the quality of life through better hearing. Check out their website at MadisonHearingAidCenter.com. You can actually do an initial hearing test on the website, MadisonHearingAidCenter.com. And again, they're at 4706 Cottage Grove Road in Madison. They do great work, don't they, John?
oh, they do. Yes, I have some fantastic hearing aids. Yep.
You really like them?
Yeah.
Very comfortable?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah.
And invisible. You don't see them.
And they have Bluetooth capability,
Bluetooth,
right?
yep,
You
they
can
do.
Dial up anything.
Yeah.
Can you do your phone just through your hearing aids?
Yes.
Wow.
You can answer your phone that way. In fact, I found out that you can answer your phone with the hearing aids while still listening to Bluetooth on your car stereo.
Wait a minute.
It gets complicated after a while here.
Do you have one in one ear and one in the other, and you can?
no,
Is it stereo?
It's stereo. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
that's kind of cool.
it's two-channel, yes.
Right. Okay.
We don't have stereo on our telephones yet, but that's the next step. Stereophonic telephone.
Well, it's interesting. You can listen to your radio and
Yeah.
you take your phone calls.
Well, Kooky Ed Burns had a song, Kookie's Mad Pad. Remember, we even have a little piece of it we play before our show. sometimes, the Mad Pad.
That's true.
And in that song, he talks about stereophonic telephone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. That's kind of cool.
So the Beatniks knew that this was going to happen.
They knew. I just got this information handed to me by
really?
Sinead at
All right.
Short Stack Eatery. Last day is Sunday, May 25th. That's when they will be closing their doors. So they're open 12 more days, including Monday, May 19th.
Oh, yeah. They're usually closed on Mondays.
Usually closed on Mondays, but they'll be open next Monday from 8 until 1. Everything is for sale here. Everything.
Really?
Everything in Short Stack Eatery. If you'd like to find out more, you can email them at shortstackeatery@gmail.com. That's shortstackeatery@gmail.com.
Well, they've got a big
All right.
fork and a big knife displayed on the wall behind you, just behind
Yes.
you.
Oh,
It's
well.
huge. Look out.
Bumped my head on that thing. No, they do have a lot of memorabilia
They
hanging
really
on the
do,
walls
yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff here, so you might want to check that out. All right.
All right. We will check that out.
It's 26 minutes past the hour.
The big news overnight was that the stocks
Yeah? What happened?
went up, skyrocketed. They
Gee.
erased all of this year's losses.
Is that right?
Because investors are now very confident about the trade progress that Trump is making.
Trade
They
progress.
come down a little bit with China, right? A little bit.
Well, quite a lot, really.
Well, they but there's still a lot left.
Yes, 30%.
Yes.
tariff.
It seems like Wall Street doesn't really care about the tariffs that we're going to end up paying for.
Apparently not.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but they're very confident. I'm so glad that at least Wall Street is happy. I hate Wall Street, and we kind of enjoyed the fact that it tanked completely to prove how bad Trump's ideas were. We didn't appreciate tanking the Wall Street at all because we had our investments there.
Yeah,
If you have
401ks
investments or
and
401ks,
stuff?
yeah.
Sure, you don't want
so
that.
it was a conflict of interest on my part. But anyway, stock futures rise. Okay, but here's a headline: Trump's biggest win isn't a trade deal; it's his distortion of reality. There you go.
We have to thank him for that?
Well, I don't know.
I don't think that's a good idea. He's over there in Saudi Arabia, making big deals, and they're signing all kinds of papers. And is he going to come home with the plane? Is that from Qatar?
Oh, he's going to take that airplane. You
Yeah.
bet. Oh, there's so many people that disagree with that.
Oh, yes.
Just amazing.
Yeah, left and right.
Yeah, everybody does. But, he doesn't see that.
No.
And it's going to be a fantastic airliner when he gets out of office. Maybe this will be the incentive
for him to leave early?
Yes. Gee, I got an airliner. I got a palace in the sky. I think
fly around all
that's
day.
where I'm going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that maybe the FAA will be so screwed up by then that,
Right?
this stuff comes back to bite you.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just have a minute left here,
Yes.
John, before we check in with the Midwest Food and Farm Report with Pam Yankee. We want to remind you, Mike McCabe will be joining us, Substack author and blogger, and he'll be in our next hour. And our Boy Wonder, who we discovered here at Short Stack Eatery, Zenon, will be here.
He'll be almost a year older, right?
Yes, I would think so, unless he went into the time tunnel.
I understand.
I don't know. It would be amazing if he wasn't as old as he should be.
Well, he's also 7 feet tall. There was a growth spurt during that year.
We will find all of that and more. Stay with us. John and Gordy in the morning, live at Short Stack Eatery.
Stereophonic telephone. Man, dig this crazy pad.
Oh, wow. Sam, that was great.
Yeah, nice going, man. That's perfect.
All right.
You don't want me to print and run an outline down there, do you?
No, we're good. We're good. We have them up on our laptops.
Yep.
Gordy, how come you got off camera?
Did I?
Yeah?
I don't know. I'm looking at other stuff, but
Oh.
does that something went wrong? Please ensure you are connected to the internet. Try again. Wait, I am on, aren't I? Try again. I wonder if you knocked me off when are you on StreamYard?
No.
Oh.
Nope, won't let me on. I even unblocked it. I unblocked it, and it still isn't
I
on.
should be back on, Sam. Am I?
Uh-oh.
You got to let me back in, I think.
He'll show up first before I can let you in.
Well, I'm showing up on my laptop.
Why are you moving? Somebody's moving my
I am.
laptop that's sending the audio. Oh.
Everything okay?
So
You
I
should
guess
be able to see me now.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, it's
Well,
it's the
wait,
Gordy
I
program,
can't.
and I'm.
Oh, wait, I got to enter the studio.
There. Aha! Now I can see you.
Okay.
Beautiful.
I don't know why that got knocked off.
There.
Well, John could actually sit over there and be on camera. If you
Could
sit
I?
here, yeah, if you want to move over, but then Zenon,
can sit here.
yeah.
I think that's.
don't you
the-
do that?
I think that was the situation we had before we left.
Is that the move?
Right? Yeah, we got a couple of minutes here yet.
Yeah.
3 minutes. I got no. This table just needs to be bigger.
Well, that's why I asked if we wanted to be at the same table or not, but it
Well,
fits. Barely fits.
We're in the window here. You know, people can gawk at us. Good to see everybody running by. Busy rearranging the furniture here. It's all for sale.
Arranging the deck chairs on the Titanic.
Everything is for sale here at Short Stack Eatery.
Yes, yes. All right, Mike Lee
Short stack
is
blowout
what
sale.
we're going to do here. Swapping immigrants for. Okay.
Adjust your camera here, Mr. Peterson. There we go.
Swapping immigrants and excessive eye blinking. Okay, I got it. All right. I think we did a story where the insurrectionists are working for ICE. I wonder why I didn't throw
Really?
that out. Oh, this is good too. All right. Where am I going here? Mike Lee.
What are we doing?
Here we go.
Got three,
Okay, let's go.
2 or 3 minutes.
Let's go. Maybe I can get some coffee
Now.
here.
Get some coffee.
Oh,
Good.
can I?
Yes. You've got how much time, Sam? 2
Minute
minutes?
20. I'm going to go
Minute.
and reheat my coffee.
A minute 20. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Idiocracy.
20 seconds.
20 seconds.
Are we on, Bob? Are we on, Bob? Are we on, Bob? Yeah, I saw Sinners.
Number 9.
Yeah? Did you like it?
I thought it was okay, good. It was actually a really good movie, but not in my top 5. You know, Schwab was talking to this.
As the 21st century began, human evolution was at a turning point, a dumbing down, until humanity was incapable of solving even its most basic problems.
This is grade A weapons grade stupidity.
Just doing my civic duty, sir.
We can duck and cover. There's a fallout shelter right there.
There's no way to survive this, you idiot!
Idiocracy.
For the smartest guy in the world, you're pretty dumb sometimes.
Well, here we are again with Idiocracy. John and Gordy WMDX. And I've got to mention this because I know you mentioned that your mouse didn't work on the glass top table.
Right.
You know, you can buy a mouse with more sensitive lights, lasers.
Yeah.
That work on glass top tables. It even says it on the box.
How often do you run up against a glass top table?
Right,
though?
exactly. Gordy, why don't you just go and get a trackball mouse? That'll work on a glass top table.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, the thing is, I got a glass top for the table, our new table in our dining room.
Yeah.
We got a glass top for it, and then I found out my mouse didn't work at all. So I went out and I had to buy like a $60 or $70 mouse.
Really?
that does work on glass top tables.
That's amazing. Huh?
And the downside of that is if you lose it or lose track of it or, you know, leave it at the studio or you take it home with you.
Yes.
My mouse to your house, then, you know, you start panicking thinking, oh my God, that's $70, you know.
I know.
But
Yeah.
it really is nice to have. You know, it's pretty flexible stuff. All right, let's get to Idiocracy here.
You just mentioned it's 6:36.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of foggy out there this morning, so just be aware of that. Temperatures will climb into about the 80-degree range later this afternoon. And coming up a little later, in about an hour, we'll be visiting with Mike McCabe. We're live here at Short Stack Eatery as they get set to close their doors. The last day is Sunday, May 25th. And so we thought we would come down here and broadcast again one more time, like we used to do. And
Mike McCabe has got
a good early morning crowd here.
He's got a real bone to pick with the Clinton administration.
Why?
He kind of blames the Clinton administration for getting us to this point in time.
Wait a second. Why would he blame Clinton?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Wasn't Clinton the only president we've had in the last, I don't know how many years?
Who balanced the budget.
Who balanced the budget. We actually had a little surplus.
That's the good thing.
There were some bad things.
But there was a bad aspect to it.
Yeah.
And it's triangulation, remember?
Triangulation. No, I don't remember.
All right. Well,
we'll find out more when Mike McCabe gets
definitely. All right, let's get to
Idiocracy.
Let's get to Idiocracy, okay? Senator Mike Lee of Utah has just introduced a bill to make all porn a federal crime.
Okay. Haven't we tried this before? Haven't they gone down this road about every 10 or 15 years?
They do. Every once in a while they attempt this. And I think it's actually just kind of a show. It's a showpiece.
Yeah.
Because
it's an attention getter.
As we all know, the Bible Belt are the heaviest users of porn.
Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, at least they have been for the last 30 or 40 years. I don't know what it's like now.
Have you been tracking their use of porn?
I have. I have.
Personal survey?
Well, my wife used to write novels for Harlequin Romance.
Right.
Way back when. Now she does her own novels. But she used to, and we used to get a book in advertisements from Harlequin, and they had a book of statistics.
Okay.
You know, romantic statistics. And this was one of these statistics, is that people watch porn in the Bible Belt.
Well, good for them. I don't know what to say to that.
A lot of porn.
Maybe there's nothing else to do.
And that's why I'm saying this is kind of a phony bill. Obviously, you know, they're trying to look, holy pictures, right, with Mike Lee. And it's not working, Mike. You know, you guys are the ones who watch porn, so take it easy, okay?
So he wants
someday this might pass.
Wants to make it a federal crime.
Yeah.
To have anything to do with porn.
Well, you know, who knows? Okay. Who knows? And this is wonderful, and this is breaking news. Trump is lifting sanctions on Syria.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gee, just happens to be in the Middle East.
Just after the new leader was elected, a former al-Qaeda fighter linked to the deaths of injuries in dozens of American troops proposed building a Trump Tower in the country.
Okay. Well,
so we're lifting the sanctions on Syria, and just coincidentally, Trump is planning to build a Trump Tower in that country. I don't know if the two are related.
Quid pro quo. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we could ask CJ. He's in on all this stuff. He gets money from Trump.
I don't think that's the case. You know, it's interesting. Back to the $400 million jet that Trump is going to accept as a gift from Qatar. Qatar is where all the Hamas leaders live.
Yes.
All the they're all there in Qatar.
Essentially, they have.
Wonder if they have anything to do with that.
You think so?
Some sort of bribery deal, perhaps? I don't know. It just brings up all kinds of questions. And they're going to have to. I don't think Congress is going to go. But somehow I think he's just going to take the plane anyway. Right?
Yeah,
just fly it over. We'll park it somewhere and work out the details later.
Convinced that is true. And I understand that I saw a story on that, and I believe that Hamas is very happy about all of this. Right? I think I have a story somewhere in here.
Just yesterday, you guys, I saw it was I don't think it was the actual plane that Trump is being offered, but it was like a gigantic plane, much like what he's being offered by Qatar, a flying fortress, if you will. And it had the Trojan horse photoshopped onto the front of it. That's what we're facing.
Well, gee, that might be a signal.
Oh my God! What is this? What's wrong with this guy? He's just signaling to everybody what he's doing.
Whoa!
God!
Yikes!
Well, what can you do?
Okay.
All right. Let's get to the next story here. That's just amazing stuff. When you really think about it, it's not coincidental. Okay, but this one. And I wanted to get to this a couple of days ago, but this is where we're swapping out immigrants in this country for white people. That's right. The anti-DEI was transparent from the start. It is a racist policy, but they're acting like they're actually trying to be neutral on color. That's not true. Trump found an even more obvious way to get his subtle message across. Import poor, repressed white people from South Africa, already wealthy, into this country because they'll assimilate a little bit easier. Why don't we get to this cut here? This is Caroline Levitt talking about it. She was asked about this at a press conference, cut 84. All right, let's listen to this.
The president has shown support for South African refugees that are coming to the United States next week. Can you talk about what these refugees are fleeing and why this is a priority for the administration?
Well, the president has actually signed an executive order on that matter. My office can get it back to you, Michael. But this group in South Africa has faced racial persecution. In fact, the government there has vowed to take away their farmland that they own. And so the president has talked significantly about this. As for further details on refugee claims and asylum claims, I would defer you to the State Department.
Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. So there you go. Right?
Yeah. Talk to the State Department. They got the whole deal. Marco Rubio will explain it to you.
We're importing white people into the country.
Yeah.
Right?
White South Africans.
And we couldn't be more obvious about it. She
Friends
says
of Elon, maybe?
Well, you never know.
I don't.
She says that South Africans are fleeing to the U.S. because of racial persecution. Let's talk about persecution. 1913, black South Africans were banned from owning land. 93% of farmland was handed to white settlers back then. Entire communities were bulldozed for white expansion. Fast forward, white South Africans make up 7% of the population. That's it. Yet still own 72% of private farmland.
In South Africa?
Yes.
Wow.
But they're oppressed. See, they want to come to the U.S.
Yeah.
Where we
get a better deal.
Where we're going for the white population. All right.
Man.
This is white nationalism, if you ever heard of it.
Yeah.
All right. How about this? And this is something to keep an eye on. Blinking. If you excessively blink, it shows anxiety. All right?
Okay.
Which pairs with lying. If you're lying, you have higher anxiety, and that produces the physical blinking.
Is that from, a medical journal or Psychology Today?
Well, that's from Just Ask John. He knows everything about this.
Really? You've been studying blinking lately? You've been doing some research projects on the side?
Well, I came across a story that said that. I'm believing them.
Okay.
A post
So excessive blinking means you're lying?
Yes.
That's okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a sign of anxiety, and it could be that you're lying. Well, why would you be suffering from anxiety if you're just answering a question from somebody? Unless, of course, you have ulterior motives, right? A post on X presented a side-by-side look at Kristi Noem and Caroline Levitt blinking like crazy while being asked a question by the press.
Okay, all right.
So when you're talking to somebody,
yes,
just make a mental note and say, I wonder if I'm blinking a lot.
Keep your eyes wide open as much as possible and don't blink. Just stare. Just stare at people.
That's right.
They won't know you're lying.
That's right.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Good to know.
I want Sam to cue up cut 29, all right?
Okay.
All right, now we've got the tariffs a little bit lower in China. Okay, they're a lot lower, but there's still a tremendous amount of tariff.
Yes.
For China, right? I mean, we're still paying a ton of money for Chinese products at this point.
It's about 30%.
It's not going to give us a break, but Wall Street loves it. So they made up all the differences, all the losses since the beginning of the year. All right. Well, EU customers aren't really happy with us. Many other countries are smart enough to see Trump and his policies are terrible, horrible, racist, and inhumane. So they have an app. Let's listen to what they have done to buy the right products at their stores.
Okay.
Across Europe, a quiet protest is playing out in supermarket aisles. American products left untouched. The hashtag Boycott Trump is gaining traction as Facebook groups rally Europeans to push back against US policies with their wallets. Michel joined a French group in March.
As long as we are aggressive policy of American administration, we want to make pressure to say, stop it.
His group even provides an app called De-Trumpify Yourself that lets consumers know if a company's funding traces back to the United States. One recent survey in France found that 6 out of 10 people support consumer boycotts of US goods. The poll also showed that the hardest hit American brands included Tesla, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and Victoria's Secret. But it's not just products. Travel to the US from Europe is also down. In March, visits dropped 17% compared to the same time last year.
Hesitation and fear about going to the United States.
So Guylaine, who asks us not to use her last name as she has family in the United States, joined a small group of American protesters on Thursday. Melissa Bell, CNN, Paris.
Oh, all right, there you go. So
Wow.
they're all ready for us. They've created an app already.
A de-Trumpifying app.
Yes.
Okay, good to know.
I want that for my phone.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out too. 6:48, we will continue live from Short Stack Eatery. It's John and Gordy in the morning. Stay with us.
Guys are getting a little hungry over at Short Stack. You've been eating.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What's
Gordy,
in the food here?
Yeah. It
Say
booted
that
you
again?
off. It booted your camera off again.
Well, what's
also,
going on?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. Also, we got Mark on the line. He just called.
Okay. Is he still there?
Yeah.
Holding? Okay.
He's always still there.
All right, let me see. We've got C. We've got C coming up. 3 minutes. It's 1:02. And then we got the crypto.
I should be back on there.
Oh, 4C.
I see.
Okay.
Crypto.
I'm going to do another hearing aid thing. Maybe we'll get caught up today.
How far behind are we?
We're just, I don't know. I can't remember. I think we're 3 behind.
I think you're imagining this. We're caught up.
No, I just missed it. I missed a day.
John, are you planning to go for that 3-minute cut in the next segment? Kristi Noem spending
Oh,
problems?
shoot. That's going to be.
Or no?
It's going to be tight, isn't it?
Well, we've got
not that
no.
tight.
We've got 7 minutes.
Yeah, let's start off with the Kristi Noem thing, okay? Yep.
Okay, let me throw in a hearing aid thing.
All right.
You know, when we were here before, we didn't have this early morning crowd.
Wow, this is huge.
They heard John and Gordy were going to be here.
Yes, so many people came in looking at us. No, that's not true.
It's just summertime.
They didn't even look at us because we had microphones on the table.
Just ignore those people.
Yeah,
they
so
might come after you with their microphones.
They're dangerous. They think they're on the radio.
You seeing any comments, Sam? If you're there? Anything from Catherine?
One text from Catherine. Stereophonic phone in the music. How did you do that? Awesome. I guess she didn't realize it was a song.
Yeah. Well, she realized that it was from the song that we play as an intro for our show sometimes. So.
Yeah.
But did we play that part of the song?
No,
before?
never did.
Yeah, I didn't know that was there.
Actually, that's not bad either. That clip would be kind of a nice way to get into, just besides the MadPad thing.
Right.
30 seconds.
You got somebody behind you there, just sitting at that table.
Weird.
Alrighty.
Well,
And she was lying in the grass, and she could hear the highway breathing. She could see an nearby factory.
WMDX. 92.7, John and Gordy in the morning. We're at Short Stack. We're helping them close out.
Yeah, their last day is Sunday, May 25th. It is 6:53. A little fog around Madison this morning. We'll see sunshine mixed with clouds and highs around 80. Yeah, Short Stack Eatery opening 12, or they'll be open 12 more days, including they're going to be open on Monday, May 19th. They're usually closed on Mondays.
Yeah, but this time they will be open.
And everything is for sale in Short Stack Eatery. You can find out more if you're interested. You can go to shortstackeatery at gmail.com. That's shortstackeatery at gmail.com.
Well, it'll be a disaster if people start buying the tables.
Well, yeah, leave the tables to last. If you're going to buy some stuff here.
Yeah, put them on layaway.
But you look around. They have a lot of stuff on the walls here that's pretty interesting.
Oh,
Really cool stuff. Okay.
Now, when you warned me that somebody was sitting behind me, were you worried that I would be talking with my arms?
I was worried you were going to flail around like you sometimes do when you get all excited about something.
I get really angry about a lot of things.
Yeah, so I just wanted to give you that heads up. This portion of John and Gordy in the Morning is brought to you by MadisonHearingAidCenter.com. They're family-owned, community-focused. They offer fast and flexible appointments, and they also help people change their lives with the number one goal, not just selling hearing aids, it's improving the quality of life through better hearing. It's Madison Hearing Aid Center at 4706 Cottage Grove Road in Madison. Go to their website. You can get a free hearing test there, MadisonHearingAidCenter.com. MadisonHearingAidCenter.com.
Or just call up for a test in the office with Jim.
That's the way to do it.
Call up Jim and Sarah out there, family-owned business, wonderful place to go.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Take care of you. Okay.
All right. I thought this was an interesting conversation between Senator Chris Murphy and Homeland Security Director Kristi Noem.
Really?
Okay. Yes.
Oh, get ready for this. Okay.
He was pretty angry about the fact that Kristi Noem doesn't seem to have a problem spending money. All right. So let's listen to this. It's actually mostly Chris Murphy at this point. Let's listen.
Okay.
Your department is out of control. You are spending like you don't have a budget. You're on the verge of running out of money for the fiscal year. You are illegally refusing to spend funds that have been authorized by this Congress and appropriated by this committee. You are ignoring the immigration laws of this nation, implementing a brand new immigration system that you have invented that has little relation to the statutes that you are required, that you are commanded to follow, as spelled out in your oath of office. You are routinely violating the rights of immigrants who may not be citizens, But whether you like it or not, they have constitutional and statutory rights when they reside in the United States. Your agency acts as if laws don't matter, as if the election gave you some mandate to violate the Constitution and the laws passed by this Congress. It did not give you that mandate. You act as if your disagreement with the law, or even the public's disagreement with the law, is relevant and gives you the ability to create your own law. It does not give you that ability. Let's start with your spending. You are on track to trigger the Anti-Deficiency Act. That means you are going to spend more money than you've been allocated by Congress. This is a rare occurrence, and it is wildly illegal. Your agency will be broke by July, over 2 months before the end of the fiscal year. You may not think that Congress has provided enough money to ICE, but the Constitution and the federal law does not allow you to spend more money than you have been given or to invent money. And this obsession with spending at the border, as the chairwoman mentioned, has left the country unprotected elsewhere. The security threats to the United States are higher, not lower, than before Trump came to office. To fund the border, you have illegally gutted spending for cybersecurity. As we speak, Russian and Chinese hackers are having a field day attacking our nation. You've withdrawn funds for disaster prevention. Storms are going to kill more people in this country because of your illegal withholding of these funds. Your myopia about the border, fueled by President Trump's prejudice against people who speak a different language, has shattered many of this country's most important defenses. Finally, let's talk about these disappearances. In an autocratic society, people who the regime does not like or people who are protesting the regime, they are just often picked up off the street, spirited away, sometimes to open-ended detention, sometimes they're never seen again. What you are doing, both the individuals who have legal rights to stay here, like Kilmar Abrego Garcia, or students who are just protesting Trump's policies, is immoral. And to follow the theme, it is illegal. You have no right to deport a student visa holder with no due process, simply because they have spoken in a way that offends the president. You can't remove migrants who a court has given humanitarian protection from removal.
Exactly.
Now, reports suggest that you are planning to remove immigrants with no due process and send them to prisons in Libya. Libya is in the middle of a civil war. It is subject to a level 4 travel advisory, meaning we tell American citizens never to travel to Libya. We don't have an embassy there because it is not safe for our diplomats. Sending migrants with pending asylum claims into a war zone just because it's cruel is so deeply disturbing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty matter of fact, huh?
She didn't have much to say.
No, she didn't have much to
say
No.
herself in the middle of all that.
Now, would this have happened under Biden? That's the question I have asked. I mean, Trump asks that all the time. And by the way, where is the mega criticism of her overspending? And not only that, she's not spending money on things we should be spending money on, and yet she's overspending. How the heck did that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good for Chris Murphy for stepping up and reading her the riot act there.
You know, I think what he had said there could be applied to a whole bunch of things that the Trump administration is doing at this point. They think that because they were voted in, that there is a mandate. Everything is covered under that mandate.
Yeah.
Next hour, we're going to deal with that. Things we didn't vote for when we voted for Trump to be the president.
And also coming up in a little more than a half hour, we'll talk to Mike McCabe, Substack blogger and author. It's all coming up on John and Gordy live at Short Stack Eatery, downtown Madison. Stay with us.
John and Gordy Show.
John and Gordy in the morning.
As we were saying, it's the John and Gordy Show.
Is Zen in there yet?
Don't see him.
Nope, not here.
Were we supposed to have him in this?
Yep, this is the block.
7:06.
It's okay. They got time.
Yeah.
We'll do a whole bunch of stuff here. This is... I knew we had a story on this, but it's a Newsmax story.
Okay.
That I have that deals with Hamas being happy that they're now working with Trump. Okay? This is Newsmax. I got to play this story. This will be the first story. You must have cut 106 there, right? Cut 106. Let's do cut 106 right away.
Doug texts in. He says, "Industry titans accompanied Trump to the Middle East. Not a single talk radio industry leader attended. You guys don't like money?"
Yeah, that's true.
We were not asked to attend.
Do you guys want me to read the AI summary? I haven't even read it yet, but the
Sure.
AI summary for last hour?
Yes.
Yeah.
Broadcasting live from the
This is
soon
our-
short stack eatery, John and Gordy dive into a smorgasbord of topics. They lament the challenges of restaurant ownership and share the eatery's closing details.
Well, read it on the air. Read it on the air.
Okay, I was giving you guys a preview.
Okay, well, all right, then keep going.
No, I like the
There's
fact
one-
that
there's one
smorgasbord is in there.
There's one person watching right now.
One.
Oh, no.
I doubt that they're
And it's
gonna
us.
spill it to everybody else.
Well.
Well, that's a little frustrating. I made all this effort to change my chair.
Where, John,
What?
where is Senator Mike Lee from?
Utah, I believe.
Utah.
Mhm. I was going to look that story up, which I forgot to do, so all I had was the headline. I was going to pull it up. I forgot.
Was it in Texas, I think, where you had to have an account on a porn site in order to be able to like load the page? Is that still a thing?
There was proof of proof of age.
wow.
I don't know how they did that, but yeah, you probably have to give them some identification of some sort. I wonder how that's going. No follow up on that story. I want to know. Hey, there's Zenon right now. All right, here he comes.
Are we going to get him right in? Oh, right on. Here, let's
Apparently,
get his.
yeah, I guess that was the plan. Apparently, we can get voice memos now over the text line. Are you familiar with those?
No.
Really?
Oh, come on.
Hey, Zenon.
This is the first
Come on
time
in.
This is the first time I've ever actually seen him on camera. This is
We're in
crazy.
news right now. Come back shortly.
Oh, this is the first time what? You've seen these people on camera?
No, Zenon. I've never actually seen him on camera before.
Oh.
Have
okay.
you've never met him?
There he is.
No.
Good
I
morning.
haven't. Hi. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Is there a way we can move this laptop so we can see both John and?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. There. Yeah.
I think we got it right there. There you go.
How's that? There we go.
Hey, don't give him too much camera.
Yeah, it's the John and Gordy show, not the John and Gordy and Zenon show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, take it easy, man.
How many more weeks of school?
Oh, goodness. 3. And that
Yeah?
includes finals.
Are you going to do summer school this
Yes.
year? Yeah?
Yep.
All right, we'll ask you more
Okay.
questions as we
I'm
go
giving
along.
I'm giving you a story, Zenon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And check it out. Look it over. It's short, sweet, to the point.
Do I just read it?
You just read it.
You
Is it
can't-
has
you
it got a
can't-
sound to it? Has it got
Yes,
sound?
got
a sound
audio
cut?
to it.
Okay. So
the audio.
you don't have to do anything. It's Sam's controlling.
You don't have to mention that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Basically, you say, Matt has this, and boom. we
We've,
go right to the audio.
we've also got Dick on the line now, so we got 2 calls waiting.
Oh.
Whenever you
We have Mark and Dick.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the phones right away.
Okay.
They're going to talk about stuff we've already talked about.
Okay.
It's not in front of you, you forget about it, huh?
What?
John.
What do you mean?
Said if it's not in
What?
front of him, he forgets about it. Well, he doesn't see the
Yes.
phone screen up, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Somebody's trying to back in and park in front of my car. I'm doing a really poor job.
An overwhelming.
They're from Iowa.
plume
That
of
explains it.
onion smell is
Ooh,
wafting over
yeah,
there.
something really smells good. You like that smell or not?
It's okay.
Yeah, it's good.
It clears out
You
the
got 1 minute.
sinuses.
Having a good school year?
I love it. I
Yeah?
love it. I'm a freshman now.
A freshman, that's
Mhm.
right.
So it's
Oh, wait,
I know.
awesome.
You're going to finish freshman year.
You're finishing your freshman
Yes.
year. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Right.
I mean, I realize that.
Did you get a cell phone yet?
I do. I have a cell phone.
All right.
You can
Nice.
thank John Peterson
All
for
right,
that.
see?
Thank you, John.
Yes, of course. You never told him that I was trying to lobby.
I don't think so.
Okay,
no.
good.
But
All right. I always
30
thought
seconds.
he looks at me like, oh, he created friction in our family.
No, I think everything's fine. Okay.
All right.
All right. Phone calls. Do a Verlo mattress. Phone calls. Try to remember.
How did that go? Okay. You doing Verlo first?
Yes. After the weather hit.
All right.
These are the times that try men's souls. In the course of our nation's history, the people have rallied bravely whenever the rights of men have been threatened. Today, a new crisis has arisen. Citizens, hear me out. This could happen to you.
People think I'm controversial, but the truth is, I'm a nice guy.
Really? In the field of live entertainment. Oh my God!
I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad.
Let me tell you something, you low-life, lying, four-flushing sack of shit.
I will tell you, this is going to be something special.
Just a show about nothing.
Hell, I like you. You can come over to my house and my sister.
What is this ponderous, man? Ponderous, ponderous.
Ponderous. Yes, it is.
WMDX, John and Gordy in the morning.
It's 7:07. We are live at Short Stack Eatery, downtown Madison, and we've got a little bit of fog, some cloud cover this morning. We'll see some sunshine and highs around 80. Right now it's 60 degrees. This portion of the show being brought to you by our friends at Verlo Mattress of Madison. One thing that remains constant since 1958 when they opened their doors, they are still direct to consumer and provide superior products at unbelievable prices. Check them out. They have 2 locations in Madison, East Side and West Side, or just go to verlo.com for more information.
All right, why don't we go to the phones right away? We have
Let's do that.
Mark and I believe Dick on the line as well. So let's go to Mark first. Mark, how are you doing today?
Morning.
I'm doing okay. And so Trump is saying that these people from South Africa are the wretched refuse. That,
Yes.
That in the past we've, it brings to mind, the Emma Lazarus poem that is more than just, give me your wretched refuse. I mean, the name of the Statue of Liberty that she assigned is Mother of Exiles. Are these people indeed exiles, or are they just, people who decided, we can, make a big flash over here, big splash, and come in and, because I imagine these people are not destitute of South Africa. I imagine they have connections, they have family, they have money. And it is just pretty disturbing that Trump is just...
I think they admitted that these people have money and will assimilate more easily into the U.S. population. I believe they've come right out and said that, Mark. So, yeah.
It's amazing.
No speculation there.
But many of the people we get from south of the border, do not speak our language, but they rapidly assimilate. They do jobs, they work hard, and...
Yes.
They're providing us with services and goods that we want in this country, and just the fact that they're a little darker than the rest of us in most cases. It just
the last statistic I remember seeing was they start businesses. 40% of immigrants start businesses in this country. That's pretty damn good. All right.
Yeah, it is. Mark, thank you for that call.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Right,
yeah, you have a good day, too.
For reminding us that there is riffraff. Countries that are really horrible out there.
Right.
Well, but if they're white, let's bring them back here to the U.S.
Let's go to Dick. He is on the phone line this morning. You can call us, too, 608-879-8255. Dick, good morning.
Good morning. Mark, spot on, as always. They're making a big deal of media that on this trip, presently Trump is not going to be meeting at all with Netanyahu and making a big deal out of it. And I honestly think, personally, it's by design because, in my mind, Netanyahu is one of the other world-class criminals, just like Trump. And I think they're staying away from each other because he's just letting Netanyahu commit the genocide he's committing. And then when it's all over, Trump will step in, and they're probably already making plans, his sons and Netanyahu and everybody else, what they're going to do with Gaza. But I think he's just staying out of it for that reason.
Yeah, I think Netanyahu is
awful people.
Yeah, I think he's bringing people into Gaza, like Trump wanted to do with the U.S. going into Gaza. I think he's bringing other people. I can't remember the story now, but I understand that he has another force coming in to take over and probably clear out Gaza as well. In fact, I think it's a they're providing food, but you can't get the food unless you leave. I think there's something to do with that. Anyway, that's just my memory is starting to fade. You know, I'm old.
Okay.
Please give me a break. All right,
Dick. Thank you for that call.
I want to bring this up because we talked about this earlier, and that Hamas is very happy with what Trump is doing right now, taking the airliner. Well, there is a big story. Newsmax has turned on Trump and the airline deal, along with working with Hamas. This is Newsmax. Check this out. This is fantastic stuff. Cut 106. Let's listen.
What do you think of accepting this gift?
I really don't like this. I gotta say, it makes me really uncomfortable. And it's not just that, this is not a gift. This is Qatar, a state sponsor of terror that has Hamas in the palm of its hand, giving a bribe. And I don't think President Trump would capitulate to anything that they asked him to, but that doesn't mean that it's not below the appearance of a conflict of interest. And I'll just say one more thing. Watching how quickly the Qataris were able to get Idan Alexander released, obviously I'm so grateful to God and so grateful to President Trump for getting this man out of Hamas captivity where he was tortured. But also it really raises the question, they can make Hamas do anything. In minutes, in hours, there are 58 other hostages there. What about them? Why is Qatar suddenly a major player in terms of controlling the scene? I hate that. Hamas is celebrating. They see this as their first agreement with the United States, and it turns my stomach, you guys.
I don't disagree.
There it is. It's not MSNBC.
No, that's Newsmax.
That's
right?
Newsmax.
Yeah.
Wow, they're coming out swinging. Boy, I'll tell you.
Absolutely.
And it does create a whole bunch of questions. They brought up some actually great questions on Newsmax. I might have to start watching. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Well,
hey, let's get to our special
guest here.
I was just about to say that. Now we present to you Zenon, who is well, we'll get to you in a moment here, Zenon, but I just want to give a little backstory. You used to visit us when we broadcasted from here.
In the early stages of our career. And
every Wednesday, we would broadcast from Short Stack, and you were one of the guests that we got to know.
And you were, in what grade were you when you were a guest last year?
Eighth grade.
And now he's a...
Freshman.
A freshman.
Yes. Where do you go to school?
West High School.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's over in my neck of the woods. Okay, so how's it going in school?
I love it.
Yeah?
It's so great. Teachers, friends, classes, everything about it. I really like it.
So public school actually seems like a good thing, right?
Yes, to me.
Choice.
Yes, obviously. They really were fantastic for my kids as well. And I don't understand any of the criticism. It's all just made up mumbo jumbo. It doesn't mean anything, really.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I really do.
It really is. Well, we have Zenon here now as a freshman, but we have a story for Zenon to pass along to everybody here.
Okay, Zenon.
Why don't we listen to this?
Take it away.
Well, get this. Trump is doing things that nobody has ever asked for, and I mean ever. This is a great and, of course, partial list of things Trump has cut that no one hardworking American has asked for. Here's Rachel Maddow with the rundown.
All right.
Sam, take it away.
On top of being unpopular, unsmart, and obviously corrupt, they are continually doing things that have zero constituency. Doing things for which literally no one is in favor, except for the proverbial cartoon villain twirling his mustache somewhere. Right? I mean, the headlines just today. Trump administration halts research to help babies with heart defects. Who is the constituency for that? Who voted for that?
Yeah.
Or this one, federal purge guts infant death prevention campaign.
Wow.
Alarming doctors. Yeah, who voted for that? Who wants that? Who's the constituency for that? That thing that Trump just did. Today we learned that Trump cut off the funding for the medication used by horses that are ridden by national park rangers. Who's in favor of that? Seriously. He cut off the funding for toner cartridges for the printers at the Social Security Administration. Because, yeah, that's waste. That's fraud and abuse, right? That they can print. This comes after he plans to cut Narcan. Narcan does nothing except keep people alive if they overdose.
Can you believe this?
He's cutting Narcan. This comes after he cuts Meals on Wheels. Who's against Meals on Wheels? It comes after he cuts Head Start preschool.
Yeah.
Because who among us didn't think that the preschool kids were the ones who were getting it too good? And Making America Great Again was about putting them back a few notches.
There you go.
I mean, honestly, these guys every day are doing things that have zero political constituency, that do nothing other than harm the country and harm the people in this country who are least able to articulate for themselves the pain that Trump is causing. Every day they are doing things that have zero political constituency, that obviously hurt the country, while they are already historically unpopular, making headlines for really radically flagrant corruption, and while there are already people in the streets protesting against them every single day of the week in every single state of the country. That is how we are starting the second 100 days of the Donald Trump presidency.
Wow, there you have it.
And the point is, of course, is that they always say that people voted for Trump to do these things.
But nobody wanted them.
No one wanted them, and it's just truly micromanaging an entire country. I mean, I know that Trump likes to take control of his businesses. He's put them out of business many, many times over. But now he is micromanaging the country. Instead of allowing the departments to manage most of it, they've dissembled most of the administration, and now he's in charge. And they're going after the smallest things. I mean, toner cartridges, right?
For Social Security, they kind of need toner.
Well, just printers,
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they'll go back to fax machines. So this is just.
Zenon, do you take do they have current events classes in high school anymore?
I believe so, but you have to be an upperclassman to take that. When you're a freshman, there's kind of the set core classes that you take, and then you get to choose the electives.
I see.
Yep.
Yep.
You going to go to summer school this year?
Yes, I am. I'm taking personal finance just to get that out of the way. And it's really nice because it's extra high school credit.
Well, yeah, that's something I like to just get out of the way. Any kind of personal finance, I don't want to ever do it again. I just like to take it out of the way.
Well, I meant it in the context of it is a graduation requirement.
No, it's good to have. I mean, you're really definitely going to need it.
For sure.
You working this summer at all? Doing any part-time work or mowing lawns? Or?
I don't know yet. I'll probably be volunteering a lot.
Oh, really?
Around.
Well, that's part of your curriculum as well. You have to have a certain amount of volunteer hours. Is that correct? Excellent. All right. Well, there you go.
And any other plans for the summer? Any vacation plans? You going to travel anywhere?
No.
No?
Just staying around here.
Okay.
Boys soccer starts in August, and actually I don't play. You'd be happy. I started announcing
cool.
games. So basketball and then boys and girls soccer.
You're doing play-by-play?
Not quite. It's more of goals, baskets, field goals, things of the like.
Like PA announcing?
Yes.
Really? Good for you.
It's great. I love it.
Your broadcast career is off to a good start, young man.
Yes.
You're going to go places.
Thank you so much.
Don't get into broadcasting. All right.
Good to know.
What are you doing?
All right. Hey, let's get to
What's the matter with you? Okay,
everybody.
We only have 30 seconds here.
All right, well, let's not get to AOC.
What are we going to get into?
I want to get AOC is taking a look at and read through the Medicaid cuts by Republicans.
We'll get to that next on John and Gordy in the Morning, live from Short Stack Eatery, downtown Madison. Good job, Zenon.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for rolling along with our mindless conversation here. I got all these stories done here. This is our next one right here.
Got a good crowd here today.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, great sound effect, isn't it? I mean,
Oh yeah, it's
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having me back.
You bet.
Well, we were wondering, what happened to you. It's been a whole year.
I don't know.
When we stopped broadcasting from here.
What's that?
Yeah, I said, were you wondering what happened to them? Because we just disappeared one day.
I know. I came about 2 weeks and then there was no morning show. So,
Right.
yeah. So we talked to one of the owners and she said that you were taking a break for a while.
Oh, here's
And then-
Brittany Merlot. Okay.
Forever, yeah. Yes.
We have Brittany. Hello, Brittany.
Hi, Brittany.
Good morning.
We are live at Short Stack Eatery, downtown Madison.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
fun.
I don't know.
Can you hear the restaurant?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Making me hungry.
They have great food here.
Well, you can't make up a sound effect like this. This is
No.
real stuff here. I think we're talking too loud, though.
You think so?
Moved away from us. Oh, those radio voices, they carry.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll talk about them.
I wonder what's going to go in here.
Do you want me off or?
No, we want you to stick around.
Okay.
Hang around. If you have
Thanks.
a weather question,
If
just
you're-
feel free to
yeah.
ask Brittany a question.
Yeah.
We have Zenon here. He's a freshman in high school.
Good morning.
Oh,
We
hi.
met him.
Yeah.
We met him last year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Helping him out?
He was.
Yes.
He stopped by here every Wednesday when we were here, and we decided to interview him, and found out he's doing. Are you still doing announcements over the PA? Do they do that
Yes,
anymore?
it's not every day. I
Yeah.
started the announcements committee, and we do like
You started the committee.
Yes, we do like a bridged
15
version
seconds.
where students can get their content on. It's interesting.
Wow,
so it's
nice.
Is it
Tuesdays and then whenever they need me to do
You're
it.
kind
Is
of
it
a
video?
producer of it then,
Is it
right?
video?
It is still audio.
Okay.
Actually, it's a little easier than Hamilton because people give me the announcements. I don't have to write them myself.
There you go. See.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Working in a coal mine, going down, down, down. Working in a coal mine, about to step down. Working in a coal mine, going down, down, down. Working in a coal mine, about to step down.
WMDX 92.7. John and Gordy in the morning, working in a coal mine here at Short Stack Eatery. Their final days.
The last day is Sunday, May 25th, John. They're open 12 more days, including Monday, May 19th. They're not usually open on Mondays, but they're going to make an exception for the 19th. And everything is for sale here at Short Stack, so if you stop in, you can find out about that, and you can go to their email to find out more, shortstackeatery@gmail.com.
All right, we've got our special guest, Zenon, a freshman in high school. Visited us last year when we were broadcasting live here, and has been kind enough to come out again and bear witness to this incredible program. Thank you.
And Zenon,
Thank you for having me.
we want to introduce you to Brittany Merlot, who's
Yes.
standing by with the weather this morning.
If you have any questions for Brittany, just feel free to ask. Now, Brittany, we had immense fog in the area earlier this morning, really fantastically thick.
Yeah, but it seems like it's lifting now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Tell
yeah,
us
that should
what's
be-
happening.
Oh, goodness. All that fog rolled off the lake, actually, Lake Michigan, through those overnight hours. It's pretty thick on occasion, but it is starting to dissipate. It should be gone by 9 o'clock this morning. And then we're going to see some partly sunny skies, and we're going to get nice and comfortable again, hitting about 80 degrees today. And it really looks like the scattered shower chances want to stay further north. So I do think that we're going to stay mainly dry tonight, maybe a brief scattered shower later after dark. But I really think all of that rain is going to be holding off until tomorrow, which of course is the severe weather risk. We're in enhanced risk now from the Storm Prediction Center, and we're looking at that line coming through probably from about 4 to 6 o'clock tomorrow night. And we do have the risk, especially the ones that pop up early. They could have a tornado with them. Very, very large hail, probably the size of ping pong balls is possible. Some heavy downpours and also high winds.
So sometime tomorrow night.
4 to
Yeah,
6.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
4 to 6
It's the
is the sweet spot for those storms to
Okay.
roll through.
Okay, it's not night yet, I guess. At this point, daylight saving time is here. Okay, I got it. Mr. Weatherman over here is giving me the
hang on
eye.
a second. Just relax. I'm not giving you the stink eye.
That's right.
Brittany, we have Zenon joining us here. And Zenon, do you have any questions for Brittany about the weather? Anything you'd like to ask her?
Yeah, but it's kind of a narcissistic one. How about in Milwaukee? We're supposed to fly out of there later today.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Nashville.
You're going to Nashville?
Yes, my mom has a work conference there.
Oh, I thought maybe you'd start a music career or something like that.
Okay.
Right.
So how's that look,
Yeah.
Brittany?
You said tonight. What time? Is this going to be late at night? Because fog rolls back in.
3:55 p.m.
Okay.
3:55.
Oh, you're good.
This
You're good.
afternoon.
You're flying out of here.
Perfect.
You're getting to Nashville
Perfect.
just fine. Take me with.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, there you go. See?
Any other questions there? Zenon?
No, ma'am.
All right.
Well, Brittany, thank you for joining us. We're going to continue here from Short Stack. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sounds
All right.
good. It's nice to meet you, son.
We'll eat a pancake for you.
Yeah.
Pleasure is
Please
mine.
do.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Brittany. That's our
All right,
WMDX Chief Meteorologist, Brittany Merlot. Okay.
Let's get to AOC. She read the details of the Medicaid cuts Republicans are putting through. I think they're mostly trying to sneak it through. They said, oh, no cuts to Medicaid. Only the people who deserve to get Medicaid should get it, though. That's the hand tip. I mean, they're telling you right away that this is what they're looking for, and they do this to everything, including voting. So, and they get 1 million immigrants on Medicaid is what they're claiming. So the megas are trying to cut down on that by cutting out 13 million Americans off of health care. So why don't we listen to this? This is AOC talking about the details of the Medicaid cuts.
And the math is not adding up. They're trying to convince people that they are cutting millions of undocumented people from payroll, or from Medicare, acting as though this is what's going to save it. Even if you believe everything that Republicans have said today, they are identifying 1 million their claim, which I dispute, but if you believe them, their claim is that 1 million undocumented people are on Medicaid. So why are they trying to cut 13.7 million Americans off their health care? By the Republicans' own Energy and Commerce tweet this morning, their claim is 7.6 million people are somehow ineligible for health care. So why are they cutting 13.7 million Americans off their health care? They've asked us to read this bill, and we have. This bill bans
Listen
the
to
people
this.
that they kick off of Medicaid from even buying their own insurance from the Affordable Care Act exchange. So once you are kicked off Medicaid, you then can't even buy your own health insurance.
What?
It increases costs for people who they deem eligible and who are low income and forces them to pay even more. And if you have a private insurer, don't worry, you're getting screwed over too. Because your healthcare premiums are going to skyrocket from the disaster that is happening from this bill.
That's right. You know, she doesn't even bring up the fact that they're going to not renew the COVID tax credit. They increased the tax credit for the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, for everybody who's on the marketplace. And they're going to get rid of that. So it's going to add another $200 or $300 to your premium per month. So a lot of people are going to drop off of Obamacare right away because no one's going to be able to afford the monthly premiums for it. So this is just part of what they're trying to do, and it's not good. And I tell you what, they're using health care to coerce a lot of people in this country to do what they want them to do, and this is wrong. That's why we should have universal health care.
There you go. Unbelievable. Okay, 7:29. Zenon, thanks for joining us.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Continued success in your schooling and your career, and
you
keep
very
in touch with us, okay?
And congratulations on your cell phone.
Oh,
finally got
thank
one.
you.
He finally
Thank
got
you.
a cell phone. Great.
Thank you. I'm very lucky.
Zenon, thank you. Coming up after the break, we'll talk to Mike McCabe, Substack author and blogger. Next on John and Gordy in the Morning, live from Short Stack.
I knew you were
Substack, Short Stack.
Yeah.
Great job. Come see us at our studio again sometime.
We'll do.
We'll set it up.
Yeah, we want you to see the
We'll keep in touch.
Yeah, we got a new...
Good job.
Have a great day.
You too. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Our last broadcast from Short Stack.
Look, I'm going to go and I got to blow my nose down.
Okay.
Are they closing the place?
They're closing Sunday, May 25th. They're moving on.
Yeah,
we don't.
right,
they don't. They haven't really announced where. I think they're moving to Florida or somewhere. But yeah. So this is our. We thought we'd come here one more time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
How have you been?
All right. You know, it's. I was listening to you on the way in.
Yeah.
And Zenon sounds a lot like Sam.
Oh, really?
His voice. And so I thought, is Sam like doing a high school age, kind of a cadence and voice? Is he,
That's
and
funny.
Then I walked in and you've actually got a high school kid in here.
Had you seen him before?
No.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I had not seen him before. But his voice is eerily like Sam's.
That's funny, because I noticed right away that his voice was actually lower than when we had him here last year.
Undoubtedly.
Because he's that age.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
So,
Right.
It's funny. Yeah, he's grown up fast. Yeah.
So I was listening to kind of the backstory and everything.
Right.
But I thought, is this like just is this like a spoof kind of thing that you've been doing?
No. He's
then
like
I walk in and there he is.
He's like a straight A honors student. He's really smart.
Yeah.
And he does school announcements, over the PA
funny.
system and everything. And
that's funny.
It's great stuff.
Yeah.
They're a cool kid.
Every time we were here, he'd show up with his dad, and we didn't have him on the air right away.
So they were
we
Short Stack
just
regulars.
and then he we went over and started talking to him, then got him on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He didn't tell us this, but his other endeavor is to become an airplane pilot.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Wow.
He's in the process of?
I don't
thinking about it.
Not quite yet.
He's thinking about it, probably.
Right.
But I told him, I said, wait until the FAA gets all their stuff straightened out. and then on top of that, he said, I know, don't get me started on it. Wow, we could have talked to him for hours on that one.
About 2 minutes here. Okay.
All right.
We're going to talk with
Get my stuff out
Mike
of
about
your way.
cost of child care and state surpluses.
I do have, I wrote down some of the topics that you had. You had two posts, actually, one before the last one. That you were referring people to an article, a really good article, right? Iceland, 4-day work week, not bringing health care security to all, right? And I got this.
Hey, Sam.
I got this story here, and it is the Digital Equity Act. Did you ever?
You call for me?
Yeah.
I'm back.
Amy Horak tomorrow.
Yep.
Is she? It's with DJ. Is it DJ Frank?
Dave. Yeah, I guess.
David J. Frank. David J. Frank.
DJ. 1 minute.
Isn't it amazing? I truly think that somewhere along the way he pictures us in shacks with straw roofs, pitchforks, and torches for lighting. Somehow, just
what are you talking about?
Yeah, who are you talking about? Living in a Hooverville?
He's talking about me, Sam. Living in a shack with a straw roof and a pitchfork.
It's his new digs, ever since he became a writer. That's all he can afford.
Hey, Mike, can you move over a little bit?
Oh, yeah,
to get you
yeah.
in the shot. We've got you on
10 seconds.
StreamYard here to the 7 people that are watching or whatever.
How many people now, Sam?
He's busy.
What? He's busy?
See?
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's Wine. The only fancy French wine sold in a handy resealable cardboard carton. 49 cents a quart or 89 cents a gallon. Sure, you pay a few pennies more, but it's worth it.
Well, it is. It's absolutely worth it. Take it from John and Gordy.
It's good stuff.
That's true. WMDX 92.7, John and Gordy in the morning.
We are live at Short Stack Eatery one more time. They close their doors on Sunday, May 25th. And, of course, we used to broadcast here every Wednesday for quite a while. Yeah. So we thought we'd come back one more Wednesday and say goodbye to them here. But, they'll be out Sunday, May 25th. It's their last day. Right. This portion of the show is also being brought to you by our friends at Madison Hearing Aid Center. You can go to their website, madisonhearingaidcenter.com. They offer individualized care, not one size fits all. They help people change their lives by better quality of life through better hearing. Check them out. John Peterson went there and speaks of them very highly, don't you?
Highly,
yes. You're using your hearing aids?
I would be using them with the headphones, but I turn the headphones quite high. So
yes, you don't need them during
won't
the
need
headphone
them.
times.
I
But
won't need them now.
But they've got very cool, up-to-the-date, state-of-the-art
AI.
Yeah, AI and Bluetooth.
It reads the room.
Hearing aids.
Wherever you go, it reads the room.
Check them out, Madison Hearing Aid Center, 4706 Cottage Grove Road in Madison. Go to their website, madisonhearingaidcenter.com. And now Mike McCabe joins us. Good to see you, Mike.
From Substack.
Good to see you. Good to be back at Short Stack last time.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah.
I remember when I was first a guest on your show and we were broadcasting from Short Stack, and I write for Substack, and then you would say a Short Stack author, Mike McCabe, and
it's still hard. We're still messing it up here.
Messed it up.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, good to
boy.
have you
So
here.
it's good to be back at Substack writing for Short Stack.
There you go. Exactly. That's what I always say. So your latest article at Substack is the costliest casualty. Tell us about that. Now you're talking about Bill Clinton and Dick Morris. But you didn't include Newt Gingrich, who was also a major part of that whole situation.
Of course.
Right.
I start out with the Fleetwood Mac song, of course, Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow.
Exactly. The theme of that of his campaign.
And that was the theme of the Clinton campaign in 1992, Don't Stop. And it was really about tomorrow, and then Dick Morris got his claws into Bill Clinton and taught him to take his opponent's ideas and make them his own, and it really sent us down a road that has led nowhere good, and a lot of things have been wrecked in our society, and of course that wreckage has accumulated now in the last few years, and especially in the last 100 days in particular.
You were talking about dead bodies on the side of the road.
Well, wait a minute.
I remember.
Well, I was talking about casualties in the article, and about how this road is sort of littered with carcasses, and there's been a lot of things wrecked in America, but I think some of the most significant things that have been wrecked is honesty. And decency and optimism. When you think about the national mood right now, we live in a very dishonest age where lying has become casual. And we live in a really indecent age where cruelty and bullying seems to be celebrated. It's no longer taboo to be cruel. It's almost cool to be cruel. And then of course optimism. When you think about the national mood, there's just this sort of doom and gloom attitude about America and America's future, but to me the costliest casualty of all has been imagination. We're sort of stuck, thinking either about where we are right now and people aren't happy with that, or trying to go back to the 1920s or the 1890s or whatever. We're trying to figure out what's the golden age and how can we get back there. And we've stopped thinking about tomorrow. So, that Fleetwood Mac song came to mind. And so I just I focused the rest of the article on 5 things that we could imagine that could make tomorrow better than today. We could get to a better place in this country. That's what the article's really all about, is trying to recapture, rediscover imagination.
Yeah. We could redo the song. Stop thinking about tomorrow.
Don't stop thinking about tomorrow.
Stop. Yeah. Yeah. That's
So how do
just,
you get that creative spark back about imagination? I mean, what are your 5 suggestions to get there?
I started with housing because when you think about what working class are struggling with, working class people are struggling with.
Yeah.
The cost of housing's right up there, and young people. I ran into a really interesting statistic. Less than half of people under 35 are homeowners across America,
right?
And most of them don't feel like there's any hope of them ever owning a house. But we're not thinking about hell. The current regime is trying to cut rental assistance by 40%. That's their answer to housing. Is cut rental assistance by 40%.
Yes.
But we're not talking about things like maybe prohibiting hedge funds and private equity firms and other speculators from buying up houses.
Right.
Just say hedge funds and private equity firms, you can't buy single-family residences, which they're doing out of speculation, which drives up prices for everybody else. And it's making a housing market that is pricing young families out of that market. And so we could do something dramatic like that. We could take a bold step like that and say, you cannot, if you're a private equity firm, you can't buy a single-family home.
That's something that should be taken up on a state level, I believe.
Hell, I don't care whether it's taken up at the
Locally
state level or federally or locally.
Yeah.
But there has to be a stand taken where housing is for people who need shelter, and housing. Home ownership has always been so central to people's idea of the American dream.
Yeah.
Well, the American dream has been stolen from an awful lot of millennials and Gen Z generations because they don't feel like they have any hope of ever getting beyond renting and getting to home ownership. Well, so, a stand has to be taken. We have to think imaginatively about what's driving up these prices and what we could do about it. Well, there would be one idea. And it's not getting talked about. It's not talked about on Capitol Hill out in Washington. It's not being talked about up the street at the state capitol.
Well, I don't want to make it look like, I have a special insight into things. But,
what do you want to...
But I did have a special insight into this. Well, I was in real estate for quite a while. And in the early 2000s, I noticed that there were a lot of what we called McMansions. These are large homes, neighborhoods like that. Nothing wrong with them. They're beautiful places. But I was thinking that these aren't going to be priced in any way that younger generations will be able to afford them. And that's all we were building are these large mansion neighborhoods. And that was the I could foresee this as becoming a huge problem. And now they're not available for the next generation because they're way too expensive. And now we're not even talking about local neighborhoods, old neighborhoods, legacy neighborhoods. We're talking about just not being able to afford anything. And I think somewhere along the way, nationally, as you say, or statewide, we really need to get the special interests out of,
or even locally with zoning.
Zoning, exactly.
To build smaller homes that people can actually afford when they're 30 years old or 35 years old or 40 years old. That market is really challenging, and a whole generation or 2 generations now are kind of priced out of the home ownership.
Well, they're calling it mother-in-law homes.
That's
And they're actually putting in small, tiny little houses in the backyard.
Yeah,
and they're really cool.
Seems to be a trend.
Above a garage.
And that's the kind of imagination that we need in our country. And that's got to become part of the national discussion rather than simply fixating on how miserable we are about conditions now or some golden age that we'd like to return to.
We're talking with Substack blogger Mike McCabe. And, so we covered housing as one of the... what?
They're doing away with Section 8. Housing credits, vouchers.
Well, when they talk about cutting rental assistance by 40%, central to that is to try to get rid of Section 8.
Yes.
And that's their answer to the housing crisis, is let's take away assistance from low-income renters.
It's devastating. I talked to a lot of people in Section 8 doing the census, and it is just, I can't imagine them not having that help.
Yeah, that's right.
So what are some of the other ideas to maybe spark some imagination and look at the future?
Again, when you talk about working class people, particularly the younger ones, child care is wrecking family budgets.
Yes.
It is so expensive and long waiting lists and all of that. And so that got me to thinking, we have the centerpiece of our way of supporting children and families is a K-12 education system, which dates all the way back to the 19th century.
Yeah.
And if you were starting over and trying to imagine a system today, you wouldn't create a K-12 system. You'd create a P-14 system where it would start with preschool.
Exactly, yes.
Basically at infancy or just shortly thereafter, and would continue at least 2 years beyond a high school diploma. Because
an associate's degree.
the K-12 system was created at a time when most people were living off the land.
Right.
Everybody was working right there on the farm.
Yeah.
And then when industrialization happened and people went off to the factories, somebody stayed at home to take care of the kids.
Right.
And now we've got two-income families, and both parents have to work in order to make ends meet.
Just to survive, yeah.
Yeah, in order to pay for that mortgage, right? And so we have a system that is ill-suited to our times, and we should have a P-14 system, preschool to at least 2 years beyond high school, because with today's economy, is a high school diploma going to be enough to make you really employable and really able to do what you need to do in the workplace? No. So we've got to think about a system suited to our times, and we haven't had a good discussion about that either. We're trying to protect K-12 education, but we're not thinking about what we should imagine for the future that actually makes sense for the way Americans live today and how the economy works.
Well, the way the megas talk now, it is just in high school education. That's what they're talking about. But that isn't going to do it. They need special training. They need extra training. And then on top of that, we're sitting here watching them hold on to a tremendous amount of surplus money in the state, which isn't really surplus money. It should be spent. It should be spent on us, but they're holding it up because they want to give it away as a tax cut. So they don't want to pay for child care, which they know is a huge problem, growing problem, festering problem in this country, but they're not going to spend it on us. That's why we pay taxes for these kind of situations to be solved.
Yep.
And they're not going to do it. They're saving the money for a tax cut. So that's me on the soapbox again.
That's okay.
Damn it.
We'll let you get right back on the soapbox in just a minute here. This portion of John and Gordy live at Short Stack Eatery, brought to you by our friends at Verlo Mattress of Madison. One thing that remains constant since they opened their doors back in 1958, they are still direct to consumer, providing superior products at unbeatable prices. They have 2 locations in Madison, East Side and West Side, or go to their website, verlo.com. You can check out their lifetime comfort guarantee. We are live at Short Stack Eatery, downtown Madison, just for another few minutes here before we wrap up. And we will be back with more of John and Gordy in the morning. If you'd like to find out more about what Short Stack is doing, you can check out their email. They're going to be selling everything in the building here. Yeah. Go to shortstackeatery@gmail.com.
Oh, you want my chair?
Well, not yet. We'll keep it for another few minutes.
Somebody bought my chair.
Back with more of John and Gordy in a moment. Oh, no, don't take his chair.
Did you hear our story on Medicaid cuts that AOC had taken a look at?
Earlier in the show?
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't
All right.
catch
No,
that.
good. I think that's when you're walking in or something like that. So let's talk
I was
about
probably
that.
out of the car by then.
Let's talk.
Yeah, and that's one of the. That was one. We could probably sneak in a couple more of the.
Yeah.
Of the 5 that I had.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And Medicaid and Medicare can be one of them.
Okay. Let's continue your article.
Hey, can you move your mic back just a little bit?
Yeah.
When you.
I'll
Yeah.
wait for my face.
Yeah. Just a. Yeah.
Like that.
Perfect.
Did you see the text I sent you guys?
Sneak in the
Text from Matt.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
Why all the apartments that look all the same and overpriced? I'm a mailman, and there are tons of vacancies.
But I want
as
you
it
to bring
is.
up.
Okay.
Continue in what you want to bring up in the article.
Almost done. You're gonna be good packing up.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Are you going to come down here? We're going to have breakfast. You going to have breakfast?
Well, no, I got to do.
Really?
I got to do Matt Rothschild.
What's that?
What?
Said, well, I gotta produce Matt Rothschild. For
Oh, he's got to produce.
Oh, yeah. Well, too bad, man.
Maybe
All right.
if too bad, yeah. If you guys get packed up and move stuff up here, then maybe we could walk down after. If it's not too long after. I don't know.
Well, you got to produce till 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's too long.
Sorry, buddy, you're out of luck.
I have a lot of. I have to work the census during the day here. Because tomorrow, this afternoon.
You got a real job, right?
Well, no.
Not this side hustle.
Yeah, this side hustle. The thing is, I have to go to the stadium thing this afternoon, and that's going to cut into a lot of my show prep.
That's
so
right. We got to go to Camp Randall between 4 and 7.
What for?
Oh, it's a big shindig for the downtown business group.
So I
Madison.
have to get my census hours in.
I hope we can make an appearance and leave. Schmooze for an hour and then get out. It's going to be hot and humid.
Do you want to hang around for breakfast or no?
I might.
Huh?
I might. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I had a little breakfast, but I could have a second
Oh,
breakfast.
definitely. Get the half order here, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we forget to say half order, and
yeah, you get a mound of food that you'll never finish.
Oh man.
All right.
30 seconds.
Coming up in about 30. Yeah. Oh man.
Maybe we can get something to go for Sam. Huh?
For Sam?
Yeah,
Get something to go.
Something to go. Yeah.
I don't think we need to do that for Sam.
He's going. We don't need to treat
We
him
don't
well.
really need to do that, do we?
And
Sam, let us know what he's like.
He's sitting there going, I'm right here.
Right.
I'm listening. Sam, are you hungry? Do you want us to get you something?
Here we go.
Too bad. You missed. Yes. You can hear that coffee percolating. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is John and Gordy in the morning. WMDX 92.7. Hope you're having a good one after the dense fog this morning kind of moved out of the area a little bit.
Mm-hmm. We'll see partly cloudy skies for the rest of the day and high near 80 degrees. It is 7:53. And just a few more minutes here live at Stack Eatery. They closed their doors on Sunday, May 25th. And we appreciate, all the time that we spent here over the previous months when we used to do the show every Wednesday.
This is really a great diner.
Yeah, so we're going to have something to eat afterwards. Sam, I know he wants something to eat. Sam, how about what would you like to eat? How about a croissant?
So how do you say croissant in French with the typical
I don't think
French
they serve
pronunciation?
croissants.
Is it croissant, croissant,
Yeah.
croissant?
Who's that?
What do you think, Sam?
Well, essentially, if you are able...
Julian.
If it's a croissant the way that Julian says it, then yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We could bring a little
check.
dough platter.
Look who just showed up in the studio here.
Who?
I don't know
Who
who.
are you?
Oh, Catherine.
Oh, no.
We're down at Short Stack. Come on down. We're here for a few more minutes. Oh, she can't hear us.
All right.
Okay.
I guess she forgot that you guys were not here today. I'm stuck in
Okay.
the studio. You guys are blocked down the road at the restaurant.
I know she never listens anymore.
No.
Yeah, and our special guest from Substack, not Short Stack, Substack.
Right.
Mike McCabe is here, and we're talking about his latest article, his post, Costliest Casualty. You fill us in on the rest of that article.
Some of the ideas about looking at the future.
One of the things I mentioned is that Iceland has recently been testing
Yes.
a 4-day work week.
Yes.
And, and the results have been spectacular. And not only has it not hurt business,
Right.
businesses have not been injured or harmed, but there's been reduced mental health problems, drop in depression. It's created greater family stability and a better family environment.
That's huge.
And here in our country, all the terms and conditions of the workplace, the hours we work, the overtime rules, all of that was created 87 years ago.
Yeah.
And we really,
not good.
and we're not talking about sort of revisiting any of that and thinking about a structure that makes sense for the modern world, the way we live today. And
You were talking about that. We've lacked that imagination.
Yeah.
In order to create a better future.
That to me has been the costliest casualty of our politics in recent years, and especially the last 100 days. But then, I brought up the fact that look at what makes people spectacularly wealthy today. Used to be that the super rich were industrialists,
right,
manufacturers, and now they're technologists. The very richest men in the world are all people. They didn't invent the technology. They didn't invent any of it, but they take technological advances, and they adapt them and use them, exploit them to put to replace human labor and to bloat their own net worth. And they have become spectacularly wealthy, worth hundreds of billions of dollars. And one of the ideas I said is we really need to make sure that the fruits of technology are broadly shared with all Americans, and we need to create some kind of a technology dividend.
Yes.
So that not only the super rich, the oligarchs, are benefiting from the fruits of technology, but it's widely shared throughout society, and we're not even having a conversation.
Yes, dream on, Mike.
And that's what we need to do a little bit more of in this country, is start to dream, start to imagine what's possible, what the future should look like, and instead we're stuck in this rut.
Well, as I showed you this article, Trump announced this week that he would end the Digital Equity Act, which provided $2.5 billion in grants to ensure everyone had equal access to the digital economy. So he's walling off society to the oligarchs.
And that's real. And think about what people think about as red America, rural America.
Oh, yes, they'll never have
gaining access to the internet has been devilishly difficult in rural communities, and so are we gonna say to all those small towns that sorry, the internet's not gonna make it to you, and the digital world is not gonna be at your doorstep?
And the bad thing is we're really talking about fiber optic, bringing it out to the rural areas, and what Elon wants to do is bring Starlink to the rural areas, which is a much slower system. It gets jammed up. If a lot of people are on it one time, it's going to be very, very slow. So Starlink is not the answer, but he wants that contract.
But
he's getting it.
And talk about how technology is being used to enrich the oligarchs rather than help the whole country. That's a great example. He wants to profit from this at other people's expense. Absolutely. We need to make sure that technology is beneficial to all of America. That's the conversation we need, and it's not a conversation that's being had on Capitol Hill or up the street here at the state capitol.
Mm-hmm. We're just down to a minute or so here. Mike, anything else from that article?
Oh, the fifth thing I mentioned was healthcare.
Healthcare.
The whole debate is whether we should either protect Medicaid or Medicare or phase them out and dismantle them. That's the conversation. But doggone it, we shouldn't simply be thinking about healthcare for the disabled or for the elderly or,
Right.
We should be thinking about how do you create health security for each and every American. For everybody.
Yeah.
And that again is a conversation that's been very impoverished in this country. We're not talking about...
They're using healthcare as a coercive thing in this society. You missed the story, but AOC read the Medicaid cuts, and what happens is if you get bounced off of Medicaid, you cannot sign on to the ACA. It blocks you from signing up in the marketplace because you were kicked off of Medicaid. I can't wrap my head around the reason why. I don't know why, but that's part of it.
And for working class people, man, that's another huge stress is being able to go to the doctor when you get sick. Healthcare is huge.
And we got to leave it there. Mike McCabe, thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next Wednesday.
We never seem to have enough time.
Well, isn't that the truth? Coming up tomorrow, we'll talk to Dr. Tim Slecker from Busted Pencils, all about education, and Amy Horak from David J. Frank with the Horticultural Report.
Nice job.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
Record that. Save that recording, Sam, if you can.
Thank you to our friends here at Stack Eatery. We wish them the best of luck. Have a great day.